Hey, thank you so much for checking out this video. If you can, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you like this content. This is going to be the last video that I post for maybe about 2 weeks, as I have family coming into town from Germany and I'm moving the next day. So there's a lot on my plate right now in real life. So it's going to be a minute before I post again. So I wanted to go over some of these upcoming games that are coming out that I'm really excited for. In this list, I am excluding Diablo 4 and Street Fighter 6 because more than likely when you see this video, you're probably already playing those games. I am extremely excited for both of them. I have played a lot of the betas on both of those games and they are a ton of fun. Street Fighter 6 has stolen my heart. That game is incredibly fun, especially if you're looking to get into fighters. This is a great starting point with the modern combat controls. In this list, I will also be excluding Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising because I see that more as a major game update, much like Overwatch 2 or CS2 versus being a full brand new game. I know that they're adding a lot of new things to it, but it's typically the same game. A lot of quality of life changes are being added into Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising. They're also adding a whole new story mode, new characters, and new mechanics. And lastly, Dragon's Dogma 2 won't be on this list either because there is no release date, and I want to aim this list at the rest of 2023 and the first half of 2024. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Coming in at the number 5 spot is Blue Protocol. Now, I don't usually get hyped up over an MMO or an upcoming MMO release because they usually disappoint me, and I don't like being disappointed. I'm sure that you don't like being disappointed. Nobody likes to be disappointed, but it's hard not to be excited for Blue Protocol. The developers behind Blue Protocol, Bandai Namco, at least in recent memory, hasn't really disappointed me in many of their games. In fact, I typically enjoy thoroughly the games that come from this studio. So when it was revealed that they were making this anime MMO, I was excited. It's an aesthetic that I enjoy, as well as a combat system being focused around the action combat. It looks fantastic. It just looks like it's going to be a pretty good game. And the few videos that I've seen of the game gets me really excited for what possibilities this game can bring, as far as opening up a different style of MMORPG. But at the same token, it's an MMORPG and it could flop pretty bad, depending on whether there's pay to win, pay for convenience, or how they handle their cash shop monetization. Again, this is something I am very excited to get my hands on, and I can't wait for the 2024 release of Blue Protocol.
Other adventurers to battle your way through epic dungeons. But to take on Blue Protocol's most difficult challenges, you'll have to group up with other teams to defeat skyscraping monsters and earn incredible loot.
Coming in the number 4 spot is Armored Core 6.
We're close to Rubicon. Wake the dog up.
Handler Walter verified. Activating cerebral coral control device.
Another IP makes it on this list from Bandai Namco and is being developed by the legendary studio that brought us the Soulsborne genre, From Software. I'm excited to see FromSoft step out of their usual Souls genre and into a more action-packed, mecha-focused genre. And this looks great. Armored Core 6 looks like it's bringing all the lessons FromSoft has learned from developing the Souls series and implementing it into a different gameplay loop. Armored Core 6 looks like it promises to bring a lot of the action that you would expect from the Armored Core series, but with that FromSoft touch. The bosses look massive, they look threatening, and it looks like it's not going to be easy. And that's what makes this game so exciting. Couple that with the highly customizable Armored Core units, down to the attachments, the guns, the legs, to just every part of your Armored Core. Now, I know that the team here has developed Armored Core in the past, but that was before they took off with their Dark Souls franchise. At the end of the day, I'm excited to see what FromSoft will bring to the table here, and it's going to be very interesting seeing them step outside of their element into something a lot more fast-paced. We should see Armored Core 6 on store shelves in August of 2023, and I'm really pumped about it.
One of the infamous handler Walter's hounds. Interesting. You ready to climb the wall?
Call sign Raven. Priority subject for termination. High on the list.
A coral response from the generator. Watch out.
Coming in at number 3, Like a Dragon. Now this next spot, I am actually including 2 games, Like a Dragon Gaiden and Like a Dragon 8. Like a Dragon Gaiden seems to take place between the times of Yakuza Like a Dragon and Like a Dragon 8, explaining basically what Kiryu has been up to between those 2 games. Now, if you have ever played any of the Yakuza games, you'll know that they are very, very anime in their storytelling. There's lots of ups and downs and twists and turns, and it's a lot of fun to play. The brawler beat 'em up gameplay is a lot of fun, though I did absolutely fall in love with the RPG that they came out with Yakuza Like a Dragon. And Ichiban as a character he's exciting. He's fun to be around, and the fact that he sees the entire world in a Dragon Quest game is beyond hilarious. Now, I do have a theory as far as the gameplay, because I do see a lot of people wondering if it's going to follow the JRPG format that the Yakuza Like a Dragon created, or if it's going to go back to its original roots as a beat 'em up. Now, my theory is Like a Dragon Gaiden will be your classic Yakuza beat 'em up style gameplay, while Like a Dragon 8 will be more of the JRPG. At the end of the day, I am absolutely excited to continue Ichiban's story and find out why Kiryu looks like Dante from Devil May Cry.
悔いのねえようにしろよ。
やるしかなさそうだな。へへ、よっしゃ行こうぜ、キリさん。
So coming in at the number 2 spot is Homeworld 3. It's been 20 years since the last time that we had a mainline Homeworld game. Yes, I know that Deserts of Karak, the prequel to Homeworld 1, was released in 2016, but this is the first time that we're getting another space venture. What makes the Homeworld game so unique is the 3-dimensional space that is your battlefield. Where most RTS titles focus on that 2-dimensional plane with some verticality, being hills or cliff sides, the Homeworld games have always focused around the 3rd dimension. After all, you're in space. While Homeworld's gameplay has always been great, it's backed up by amazing storytelling, fantastic voice actors, and some of the best soundtracks and atmospheric sound design in video gaming. I'm insanely curious where they're going to take this story, because we did finish out Sajet's story in Homeworld 2. And this is why I'm looking forward to the 2024 release of Homeworld 3.
Direct assault ineffective. I say again, ineffective. Adjusting approach vector for cover. Target acquired. Got it in dynamic range. Close fire. Good work, first squadron. Second squad to subsurface rear flank. Use the old surface tunnels and approach from the rear.
Copy that. Sector looks clear. We're on that. On the right tunnel. Range. Engage well. Let's do this. Enemy units just...
Tell me, why have you come here? We must all cure ourselves of the entire cult of the Absolute. You've traced people like you. People with parasites in their brains. All the way here from Baldurs Gate. You may just be the godsend we've been praying for.
Coming in the #1 spot is Baldurs Gate
You're the same
3.
as me. You have a mind flayer tadpole in your brain.
So coming off the back of killing Irenicus in Baldur's Gate 2 Shadows of Amn, I can say without a doubt that Larian Studios has very big shoes to fill. Conversely, I think Larian Studios is the only studio that could fill those boots. Having played around 82 hours of Baldur's Gate 3 early access, there is not much that I could say that I'm critical about. It plays very closely like a Dungeons and Dragons homebrew tabletop game. There are so many things that you can do, and there's so many ways that Larian has innovated on their systems from the Divinity series that you come up with these ingenious ways to play the game in every encounter. I mean, if you want, you could take off your boots and chuck it at the enemy. I mean, like, there's so many things that you can do in this game, and it's so interesting to see it all come together so brilliantly. While the story has a heavy emphasis on the party dynamics and your relationship with your party members at your camp, versus some big epic ball spawn saga where you're not exactly taking control of a character who was birthed by a god, and the god of murder no less, but rather you have a tadpole in your head that will cause you to turn into an illithid through the process of ceramorphosis, which is a gruesome body horror transformation. And you and your party are set upon getting the tadpole out of your head before that happens. Now, every playthrough that I've done through all the extensive patches and updated content that they've added throughout the first act of the early access, every single playthrough has been different. Now, of course, you can go and be a save scrubber, which I'm not hating on anybody. Play the game how you want to play it. But the real beauty of this game and the real gem of this game is the conversation hit die, where anything could really happen at a roll of a dice. You end up going into all these different adventures every single time if you just play it out, which I have done every time I've played through the early access. Needless to say, I'm extremely excited to see where Baldur's Gate 3 will take us, and if Larian Studios has given it the passion that it deserves, which I'm willing to bet they have.
Frightening man. But you have something he doesn't. Allies worth having.
Together, we will strike down the Absolute.
Bow before me. Bow before the Absolute. Bow!
Well, that concludes my list of my top 5 most anticipated games over the course of the next 365 days. Thank you for watching, and let me know in the comments what games you're most excited for. Thank you. See ya.
you.